Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me okay? This is a different setup than I'm used to and what you're used to, but how's it going? Let me know in the chat if audio is good. And yes, this is a different room, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Who's here? We're going to do this like we do the Saturday mornings, even though it is Wednesday hump day evening. So good to see everybody. I know it's been a long time, but Matt McCall Music is the first person here. Actually, I was supposed to do it yesterday, and then I rescheduled it for today. So I apologize for that if you're waiting for it yesterday. LPD pedals, audio is good. So this is a bare bones setup, so bear with me right now. I've got a camera. The audio is coming from my laptop, which is right here. So that's why it sounds a little bit different. But Shahar Bar's here, LPD is here. The new studio is not ready, so we'll just get right talking about it. Some of you may know, or some of you may not know, but I've been gone, or I've been kind of off YouTube for a couple months now. Somebody's calling me. And you might be wondering why or where have I been. I've been fine, but we've actually been planning a move, and my wife and I decided to move out of Nashville and move to a different city, and we moved to Oregon. So we're right now streaming to you live from the west coast of Portland, Oregon, and we are super, super happy. My wife is here. I can hear the audio. My wife is in the kitchen. I can hear the audio right above me from whatever she's watching on her phone or her laptop. Turn it down, honey. So yeah, we're not in Nashville anymore, guys. That's the big news, and we moved to the West Coast, back to the West Coast. So if you didn't know, my wife and we both met in LA many years ago, relocated to Chicago, and then to Nashville for 11 years, 10 or 11 years. So it was time to move, which was a big decision, obviously, leaving the greatest music city in the world, and basically the best, to this day, what I think is the best city for guitar players. But yeah, so I wanted to say hi to everybody. Cushman, Joe Jennings, Amanda Coombs is here. Where's Ben? Is Ben here? Martian Murray, Drew Glebe, LPD. What's happening? West is the best, Barry H. Jay Baker. I turned it down. Thank you, Chrissy. Hold on. So basically, I don't have anything set up at all. What you're seeing is the future studio, the future new studio of RJ Ronquillo Enterprises. But I have to do some work to this room. It's pretty bare bones, but the sound in here is pretty decent for what it is. The size is plenty for what I'm doing. It's definitely a different layout than my Nashville studio, but I'm ready to have a different look to my videos, a different vibe, a different setup. Today was good because I had a couple of my Novos shipped UPS out here instead of me putting it in the packing truck. So my Novos arrived today, so I'm very excited, and they were kind enough to ship them for me. And I'm just jamming through a little quilter here, but all my gear made it safely. The Hobo Roadie is in Talent, Oregon. Where is that? I've heard of it, but I can't point my finger on the map. So, okay, questions, comments? Drew Glebe, war-torn Portland. That was Buddy Blues' comment. Will you be... Hold on. Buddy Blues is asking, hold on, buddy. I'm assuming you're back in the States. Will you be wearing a bulletproof vest in the war-torn city you decided to move to? You know what? It will be a. It's a. I bought a Patagonia bulletproof vest. Um, and it's pumpkin colored, pumpkin spiced Patagonia bulletproof vest. But yeah, nothing exciting is going on here in Portland. Sorry to say. I don't know what news you guys are watching, but everything is safe. I walked to get my hair cut today. And then the wife and I walked to Trader Joe's yesterday, Whole Foods. So it's been pretty chill here. It rained all day, and then the sun came out at like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. So yeah, it's fine. We're fine. We're safe. I do believe that there's been a impromptu naked bike ride scheduled for today for some reason. But that's about it. That's what the news straight from Portland, Oregon, from my mouth to you. Patagucci, yeah. John Patagucci. Rico B tax free is nice. Let me tell you, what did we buy? Bought something. I think my wife bought a jacket, and I think they were originally on the shipping. It had our old address, and the tax was like 18 or 19 bucks. And then when I changed it to the Portland address, it was $0. So that was nice to not have sales tax. It's still, pricey out here for sure. I'm not gonna lie, but it's all even. It all evens out. So, Mutter 1310, welcome to PDX. It's an easy city to live in. That's kind of what we wanted. I mean, you guys can ask me, all the questions you want, why we moved, why I decided to leave to Nashville, why we chose Portland, all that stuff. But I'm just going to go through the chat and see what you guys are talking about. Okay, Hobo Roadie. So Talent is just north of Ashland. Yes. Gotcha. Shahar Bar looks like a pumpkin room. It does. It's actually, I want to say the walls are like a reddish brown, but then the lighting makes it look orange, But I will be painting it. I will be mounting stuff on the wall and all that good stuff. Ashley Weaver, you leaving the Nashville life behind? Yeah, temporarily. I'll probably fly back, just to maybe do some work or visit or network or meetings and all that stuff. But yeah. Shahar Bar moved for the sushi? No, we actually moved for the vegan food. I think I've said it before. My wife and I are vegan, and if you look at every single top 10 list or whatever article, Portland is number 1 all the time. So we've been eating well this past week. So we got here on last Thursday. We drove out here from Nashville. We took it medium slow. We did it in 6 days. You can easily make it out here in 3 or 4 days if you drive like a maniac, but we decided to take it slow. Rico B just dropped off his daughter in Eugene. Dropped your daughter off in Eugene. I have a couple friends that have their kids going to school there too. So great school. Not too far either. McCall Music, so no rhyme or reason, just up and move. Well, there's obviously a bunch of rhyme and reason, but in a nutshell, we grew tired of Nashville as a whole. And we just wanted something better and, a little more, everything from the weather to the food scene to, the neighborhoods. Essentially, what it came down to is we really wanted to be in a walkable neighborhood. And if you know anything about Portland, there's like 20 different walkable neighborhoods to choose from, and they're all intertwined. So it's like you can walk between neighborhoods, and it's bike friendly, um, and it's definitely less crowded than Nashville. That's something, Nashville is a growing city. It's still growing. It's getting, um, the population is going up. They're trying to build a bunch of infrastructure, but it's not really keeping up to pace with the growth. And neither are the amenities in the city. I think are keeping up with the population growth. So it's not for us anymore. But obviously, I'll still be back to visit friends and everything. And I already have some Carter vintage video shoots scheduled for the next time I come back. And obviously, my family at Novo is there, and everybody. Buddy Blues, you better you want to buy a house in Nashville? William De Silva is in Eugene. Shahar Bar, Seitan versus Tofu. I'm Team Tofu all the way. Well, yeah, for the most part. Desert Island, gun to my head, Tofu. Dan Sokolowski, the only things I know about Portland is what I learned in Portlandia. That's awesome. Us too, before. We were actually looking, well, we weren't looking at a house, but we saw a house that was listed that one of the parts of the description was that it was used in a Portlandia episode. And randomly, we were just rewatching some of the episodes, and we saw that episode. So like, hey, that's the house from that listing. So it's funny. Let's see here. Rico B, guessing you've not crossed over the river to eat In-N-Out. Is there an In-N-Out here now? It's funny. They're building, or they have In-N-Outs in Nashville or the Middle Tennessee area now. So they're all over the place. You don't have to be in California anymore to eat In-N-Out. Have I ever demoed Joyo pedals, Sonic? I'm assuming your name is Sonic Reducer, like the MC5. Is that right? Have I ever demoed Joyo pedals? I feel like I think I did one. That wasn't mine. It was like a shootout. Yeah, I think I have. I probably have. I just don't remember. William De Silva, a lot of killer pedal makers in Portland. Yeah. Let me highlight your comments. Sorry, guys. This is different than my regular computer setup, so a lot of my features and sound effects I don't have. William De Silva, yes. I think Spaceman is here. Is it Catlin Bread is here? Or Earthquaker? I can't remember. I think it's Catlin Bread's here. Benson Amps, Saul, Cole Guitars. Who else? Name them off if you know. McCall Music, Sarah lives out here. Awesome. See, I didn't know that. Drew Glebe, did Fred Armisen help you move in? No, but before we left, we went and saw his live show in Nashville. And it was great, If you've ever seen his special for musicians, like on Netflix or whatever it was on, it's pretty much that with a couple extra bits. But, he was great. And I believe I saw that here on New Year's Eve, him and John Mulaney are doing some kind of show. So, Michael Mel, Sonic Reducer is by the Dead Boys. I think you're right. I think I was thinking of Fred Sonic Smith's Sonic Rendezvous. A lot of Sonic stuff happening. My mistake. Um, let's see. Let's see here. Okay, just going through. And if you, as always, if you want my attention, you can hit the at symbol RJ Ronquillo, and it'll highlight on my screen. But okay, let's answer some questions here. Braxel, where did he move to? I moved here to Portland, Oregon. I should put that up here. I say here like you know where I am. I'm in Portland, Oregon right now. I left Nashville. We got here about a week, less than a week ago. It'll be a week tomorrow. We're gonna have to celebrate. Shahar Bar, the coffee should be solid. There's a lot of it here. We haven't found our favorite place yet, but we're starting. We've basically gotten coffee every day from somewhere outside, and it's getting a little bit of an expense. So I have my espresso machine. I just haven't plugged it in. We're basically we haven't unpacked. We're living out of boxes and just slowly taking stuff out as needed. But we've been lazy because it was a tiring drive out here. It was a tiring move in. You know, we did it all ourselves basically. We got those moving cubes. We got a U-Pack Relo cube. Packed it all in Nashville, and then unpacked it all here ourselves. Braxel wants to know, why did we move? Well, we wanted a different scene. We were, I think we had exhausted our love for Nashville, and basically, since I'm not your normal professional musician anymore, so I don't tour anymore. I really don't gig or have a strong desire to gig. It didn't really make. I didn't really need to be in Nashville anymore. My wife and I both work from home, so you know we were lucky enough to be able to move anywhere we wanted. So we decided like where do we want to move just to like live and not worry about our jobs or careers. And we talked about what we wanted as far as amenities and the features that we wanted in a new city and in a new neighborhood in a new house. And basically it came down to this, what you're seeing right here in my unfinished future studio. Grand P, great weed in Portland. I expected to see more dispensaries, but at least there's a couple in the neighborhoods that we're in. Any good taco joints? Well, we were just talking about it today. There's a vegan taco place. I forget what it's called, but we haven't tried it yet. But yeah, there's a couple actually. Sam Online, Nashville to Portland. I just answered that, right? Um, William De Silva, Portland gets a bad rap, especially now, but it's truly a wonderful city. It is. It's a hidden gem. I don't want to talk it up too much because I don't want the population to go up or anything, but it's chill. You have to be a certain type of person to enjoy, everything here and the climate and the scene and the vibe. But it's definitely for us. Like, the past week or 6 days that we've been here, it's just every day is exciting. So I don't know if that feeling, the honeymoon feeling, will wear off. Probably once we get into the thick of winter and the rainy season, because that's probably the biggest con that I always hear from people here. But I've met so many people here that were born and raised, which in Nashville, yeah, there's a couple people, but I feel like everyone in Nashville is some sort of a transplant, just like California, just like LA. But I've met a lot of people here, like local workers that haven't left here, and there's always There's got to be some reason. But Braxel, is it cheaper? Um, it's probably about the same. It all evens out. There's in Tennessee you have no state income tax, but you have sales tax. In Oregon, you have state income tax, but there's no sales tax. Did I say that right? So it's all a trade-off. I think the overall tax burden between the two cities is roughly the same. So it's oh no. Buddy Blues, does this mean with the time difference we can no longer play Fortnite in silence? I don't know. What time you want to play Fortnite? I don't have my computer yet, so I haven't played Fortnite in like 3 weeks. I'm dying over here. William De Silva, I actually was here in the summer when we were looking at houses, so I know how beautiful the summers are. And that's probably, I was smitten by the summer weather. But I also knew, about the winters. So I always had that in the back of my mind like, summers are great, winters can be bad. But the trade-off is Nashville, especially last winter, Nashville got more freezing or below freezing days or winter days than previously, and it was kind of bad. It was like I only know this because in my van we have it's an RV, so it has plumbing. So I would always have to pay attention to the overnight temperatures to make sure my plumbing wouldn't freeze in my van. So I was conscious of how many days it was freezing, and for some reason in Portland, when I looked at the weather, it rarely, if any time, got below freezing. So that's one difference that I'm looking forward to, and also the rain in general. Something that I read is that Tennessee, or at least Middle Tennessee, Nashville, gets more rain than Portland as far as the measurement of rainfall, just because Middle Tennessee gets a lot of severe thunderstorms, so they just get this, really bad severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. Whereas my understanding is Portland and Oregon, it's just kind of like a steady drizzle, which I think I would prefer um, than to have tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings and having to take shelter. I lived in Florida for many, many years, and, severe weather is, I have a PTSD with the severe weather. Buddy Blues knows all about that. Mike S., try living in Chicago during the winter. I lived in Chicago for 2 winters. 2 winters or 3 winters? I think it was 2 winters. And that was it. That's all it needed. All I needed to get the heck out of there. But I love Chicago. Yeah, can definitely Rick Solis. Yep, can definitely put the van to use out in the Pacific Northwest. William De Silva. It doesn't. It really doesn't rain as much as people think. Yeah, that's what I've been getting. That's what I've been learning is like, what are the locals' version of rainy days or bad rain? So I'm really eager to experience it and decide whether or not it's bad or good. So Grand P, it's like a constant mist all winter. Hey, I would rather have mist than a bad snowstorm. Although I know sometimes you get ice storms and snowstorms here, but I think sometimes it lasts longer in Nashville for some reason. McCall Music, Broward County, you know about it. LPD, be careful believing those average temperature listings. They say Phoenix summer temps average 103. So what would you say is like the average in Phoenix in the summer? 110? I don't. It's only going to get hotter, right? I can't imagine what it's. Oof. I don't like extreme hot and I don't like extreme cold. Someone was mentioning Greg Cummins. Where is it? What about a YouTube influencer tour? You, Pete, Andy, Jay Leonard J. I would think those in the know would make it successful. Yeah, we could. I know. I reached out to Andy before I moved, so we have to link up and meet for coffee. There's a couple other YouTube personalities and social media people here in the area, so maybe we'll get like a group luncheon happening. But Ted Nagurski, good to see you. So if you're just joining us, how many people are here? I can't even see. 82-ish. If you're just joining, it's been a while since I've done a live stream. It's I think May was the last time I did a live stream, and that kind of coincides with when we started to really talk about moving and me flying back and forth. But if you're just joining, basically I'm not living in Nashville anymore, and I'm in Portland, Oregon. War ravaged. It's so bad here. Don't move here. I'm just kidding. I just don't want too many people moving here because I love the difference in traffic. Although I haven't really experienced like the traffic around downtown Portland, but it is easier to get around here than it is in Nashville, and it's more pleasant. And honestly, I've been walking, and I'm going to buy a bike, but I'll probably not be as car dependent as I was in Tennessee for sure. But if I do buy a bike, are there any biking people here? And do you have any favorite brands or styles? Because I don't know anything about bikes. I did ask Rhett, our friend Rhett Schull, and he was definitely adamant about me getting a bike and gravel bikes and all that stuff. So we're talking. Chris Quinn, Johnny Marr lived in PDX for a while. I didn't know that. McCollum Music, Nashville got kind of ghetto. It's not that it's ghetto. It's just, it's very crowded now. And I didn't want to stay in a city that was a tourist city. I don't like tourist cities. I don't like going to Vegas. I don't like, and Nashville is basically like, Nash Vegas. So, I went to college. My first year of college was in St. Augustine, Florida, and at Flagler College. And, St. Augustine, Florida, it's northern Florida, kind of by Jacksonville, between Daytona and Jacksonville. But it's the world, or the country, the U.S.'s oldest city. So it's super, super historic, super, super touristy. And I remember going to classes and having to like weave in through tourists to get to my classes. And I think that's what kind of put it in my brain that I never want to live in a touristy area anymore. But yeah, Nashville, like we never have a reason to go downtown because I don't play on Broadway. I don't work downtown. Occasionally, when we have friends in town, we'll go and meet them for dinner or drinks or something. But it's kind of crazy on the weekend. If I do go downtown, it's usually during the week, and it's usually early in the evening or even in the day. Or if there's a concert, either at the arena or the stadium or the Ryman or something. But I'd rather not be around crowds of people, especially if they're tourists, especially if they're drunk tourists. Ted Nagurski, there are a bunch of great tiki bars in Portland. All right, now we're talking. I love a good tiki bar. I think Hale Pele, or think Hale Pele, is that one? I heard about that. That's one I want to try. Hale Pele. Troy Davis, Paul Gilbert lives in Oregon. Yes, I think he's lived in Portland or the Portland area since the 90s, actually. So he's been here for a while. I've never met him. I want to meet him. Buddy Blues went to Nashville for 4 days when I wasn't there and won't be back for another 98 years. The one time that I wasn't there, because I was here actually, probably closing on the house or probably doing the inspection or something. Yeah, you come to Nashville. Buddy Blues is the well-traveled, well-groomed guitar aficionado. He just got back from Germany. Chris Quinn, good question. Where are you? What's your first Portland guitar going to be? So there's a couple great guitar stores here. I've only been to 2 of them. I went to Thunder Road, which they have a Seattle location, and they have a Portland location. They've got some great stuff. And then I went to Strum, which is a lot of used and vintage pieces, and it's got a bar in it, and a lot of players. They have shows and gigs there. So who's coming? Oh, my friend Tim Lurch, jazz guitar guy in Seattle. He says he plays there a lot. I think Paul Gilbert's played there. You can check them out on Instagram. I think it's Strum PDX is their handle. But it's cool. You walk in, there's guitars and amps all over the place, and then you've got this bar that has, beers on tap. So you could actually just go there and drink beers and hang out like a bar. But then you've got, a vintage 335 on the wall if you want to pick it up and play. So could you imagine if Carter Vintage put in a bar? They probably will at some point, but okay, my iPad is acting up again. Braxel says, okay, that's it. I'm getting the house right next to you. Hold on, these are supposed to go off on its own. And bringing everyone else to live in the other houses next to you. No! McCollum Music, you left the beach for the woods of Georgia. Yeah, I left Florida. When did I leave Florida? 2008. So, okay, if we want to count how many cities that I've lived in, Detroit, Miami, Detroit, St. Augustine, Miami. I lived in St. Pete for a little bit. Fort Lauderdale, LA, Chicago, Nashville, Portland. This is number 9-ish. Has anyone moved this many times in their life? I hope so. Moving's great. Ted Nagurski, how's the Pacific Northwest weather affecting your guitar necks? So far, so good. I mean, it's not... I don't think it's super, super humid yet. But, these, as a testament to Novos, these arrived perfectly in tune. So, and was probably driven all the way from Nashville. Probably took the same route. So who here has driven cross country or taken road trips across the continental U.S.? This was my second kind of cross country trip. My first one was basically from South Florida to L.A. That I did in 4 days with a towable and everything. And then Nashville to Portland. Maybe it's because I'm older, but it was harder. That took us 6 days. My back hurt the whole time. I didn't get good sleep. Okay, I gotta watch the chat here. Joshua Park, you got a guitar question, and I appreciate that. Do I have any tips for muting strings on 5th or 7th fret? Ooh, without causing harmonics. No, I don't. I'm trying to think of how that riff goes or how to play it. Muting strings is really a combination of both hands. So in general, you're using, obviously you can use your picking hand palm to mute here by the bridge. But a lot of times when I'm, playing my left hand, some parts of my fingers are touching other strings to mute it. And I kind of do this subconsciously, but I don't have a pick, but so if you're getting that, I'm trying to get an example of what you mean, but like that or something, like where I'm fretting a note and then I'm hitting that. What you could do is use an unused finger and just kind of lay it on top of whatever's making the harmonic, just to mute it like that. I don't know if that's what you mean, but it's basically, muting and getting a clean sound out of anything you play is a combination of both hands doing a little bit of muting. Okay. Basil Tiffany just moved to Rogers Park. Where's that? Rico B, did you and your wife fly out earlier and decide where in PDX? Yes. We did as much research as we could and looked at listings and online, and then kind of narrowed down what areas we wanted to look at and then start focusing and narrowing it down. McCullum is on city number 3 or 4. Hobo Roadie's been to over 40 states. You've lived in over 40 states? How do you do that? Red Shell, is this the new place? Red Shell is here. We were just talking about bikes. Where were you? So this is my unfinished studio space. It needs a lot of TLC. Not a lot of TLC. It needs paint. And it needs some fake plants, maybe. How should I decorate this? What do you guys think? Give me some cool interior design ideas that you would want to see on my channel or a guitar YouTuber's channel in general. What do you want to see in the wall? Because I'll do it. Chris Quinn, yes. Cold Guitars. I know Saul is here. We have a bunch of mutual friends, and I think I met him at a NAMM show many years ago. Played his guitars, which are awesome. Aaron Alba's band is here. What's happening, man? Let's see here. Oh, Red Shull. Buddy Blues wants a picture of him. Send me a picture of you. You know how you get Well, we have them. I don't know if you have them. You can order like portraits that look like paintings, and you put your dog's face on like the body of like a king or a queen or some kind of medieval thing. Do that. Send me a picture of that. Go on Etsy or whatever and send me a picture of that. LPD, yes, we love it here. We love the. I was posting on like my Facebook or something. We love the anarchy and chaos. It's the best anarchy and chaos we've ever had. Rachel, bikes, I'm here for it. You're my self appointed bike consultant. I've got you. I was looking at an old man bike. I think it was Marin was the brand. Marin. I want to say it's called the Bone Spur, but I think it's called the Marin Larkspur. Is that a thing? I don't know. I just saw like a review video, and the guy was like 52, and he was like fit guy, but he's also like, I've got back problems, and this bike was perfect, and it looks really old man-y, but it's actually a really good bike. You can take it on the dirt or something. I don't know. So I'm like, and there's a store just down the street that has them in stock. So I'm like, I'll just walk down there and buy it and call it a day. But I know you want me to get a gravel bike. But then I would have to buy all the clothes and all the gear, and I just want a simple bike that I can get groceries with. Here we go. Red Shoal coming in hot. You need a Portland bike, steel frame, drop bars, and mountain bike tires. But my back. I don't know if I can do the drop bars. I'll test ride it. I want something comfortable and just like nothing attractive, because I don't want anyone to like try to steal it. I think that's like the biggest crime basically in Portland is bike theft. And then I would have to, Drew Galea, then I have to buy a bunch of gravel for the bike. It's a whole thing. Scott Dvorak, thank you for your questions. Thank you all for your questions. Explain the neck on that Novo. Pretty please. I've been intrigued and you inspired me to look into them further. So this is like when I had this made, and you can go back in my archive of videos of my first custom Novo. This is the I forget what contour this is. It's not the super thick one. It's just the standard. Well, maybe it is. Now I can't remember, because now I get the Tyler neck contours, and this might be the beefier one. But as far as the feel goes, it's just kind of like a nice, comfortable C-ish shape. It's not like, a soft V or I can't remember. No, it doesn't feel like a soft V. But I did select all the wood on here, and this is what we used to call boner flame. And you can watch the video on where that comes from. But it's just a really, look at the flame on that one. By the way, have you seen the Spinal Tap movie yet? Because I haven't. And that's the first movie I want to see here in Portland. Chris Quinn, you don't need a bike, you need a couch. I need a chiropractor. Hobo Roadie lived in California, Texas, North Carolina, Nevada, Washington, and Oregon. Wow. So back to bikes. So we're talking about bikes or guitars? Really, my main focus is being able to just go to the grocery store. Because we walked to the grocery store, and my wife and I both had a bag of groceries on each shoulder, and it was It got a little heavy towards the end. David Salos, what amps do I have with me? Right now I'm just plugged in through this Quilter Micro Pro Mach 2, which I don't think they make anymore. But all of my gear is here, made it. It's just in boxes and cases and not set up yet. I literally just threw up a camera, unpacked one light, and then this is my laptop. This is not even my, I don't have a mic on me or anything. All the audio is coming from the MacBook Pro mic, and I just set it up yesterday. But hopefully, well, we'll see. But hopefully within the next week or two, I'll have the room at least painted the way I wanted. And then I don't know what's going to be mounted on the walls or if anything. A picture of a portrait of Buddy Blues as a as a princess. Ted Nagurski, get a Schwinn Stingray with gorilla handlebars, a sparkle banana seed, and a sissy bar. I want to say my sister had that when we were kids. I know she had the Schwinn that had a banana seat. I just had like my Schwinn was like this, a toddler Schwinn. It was blue. That's all I remember. Chris Quinn, I think of bigger dudes having back problems, but you seem like a stealth dude. What gives? I have bad posture, and my back problems go away. And let me know if any of you guys are like this. If I stop drinking coffee, which I did for like 3 weeks when we were driving out here, I didn't have any coffee. I'm like, I'm going to quit coffee for a little bit because I know my back will get better. But, you know, it did okay on the drive. It was just all the driving kind of wrecked it. But it would have been worse had I been drinking coffee every day. If I stop coffee, my back is decent, and if I'm exercising every day, it's decent. Stretching, whatever, yoga, weights, running, walking, whatever. If I'm active every day and doing that and no coffee, then it's totally cool. But like, you know, on the drive out here, I wasn't active. I didn't exercise or anything. I didn't have time really or the energy. And even though I stopped drinking coffee, as soon as we got here, I was like, yeah, give me all the coffee. So now between the two, it's just like, now it's catching up with me. And yesterday was probably the first day I picked up a guitar in like 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. Talk about like, you know, when Marty McFly starts fading in Back to the Future. That's what it was like. Earth Angel. That's what it sounded like. Mika or Micah. Forget a chiropractor, find a good physical therapist. Yeah, I agree. When I used to do CrossFit, when I was a CrossFit nerd like 15 years ago or whatever, I probably went to a physical therapist once a week. That was a little bit of chiropractic stuff, a little massaging stuff, but also just like he was a physical therapist, sports physical therapist. Now that I don't do that, I don't know. I need just a massage. I need a Epsom salt bath and a massage first. David Salas, hope the Morgan made it. Yes. Both Morgans made it. Albus Band, do I need any help? No, we're taking it slow with the unpacking and setting up, and we're not in a hurry. So we're still waiting on some furniture to come. Robert Baker's here. I hope you guys have been following Robert Baker, and you know he's got some heavyweights on his channel. Red Beach was just on his channel. He's you know, the Dan Huff stuff is looking great, man. Buddy Blues does look good in a dress and a gown. I believe you. Chris Quinn has a little landscaping company and actually feels worse when you're not working. Yeah. It's almost like you gotta keep the joints lubricated by moving, you know? And sitting around, yeah, I mean, I guess since I started being a YouTuber, and chime in all my YouTuber friends that are here, but have you guys noticed that you have more pains and back pains since you've been sitting down being a YouTuber this whole time? Because I feel like when I was touring and I was constantly moving, and you know, despite sitting on airplanes a lot or sleeping on tour buses, I felt my back was in decent shape. But since like I started sitting at a desk editing video and all this stuff, and sitting, you know, tweaking pedals, it's just been wrecking havoc on my back. So maybe I'll just shoot videos standing up. Get a standing desk. I don't know. Robert Baker, you got to fly out here so you can interview Paul Gilbert. That's next. I think Doug Rappaport is also out here in the area too. So it's a shred fest out here in Portland, Oregon. There's no war here, but we do have shredders. Chris Quinn, good question. Well, Buddy Blues says 1000% it's the playing sitting down on an awful chair or couch than editing. Yeah. That's the thing, man. Like, I'm already getting, like, my back is getting sore just sitting here talking to you folks. But this is my gaming chair that I use to play Fortnite, even though I don't have my computer set up yet. Robert Baker plays Fortnite. We got to get a Robert Baker, me, Buddy Blues team going. Chris Quinn was asking, sorry, Chris, twin sister question. I'm thinking of getting one. Can you get a good tight drive sound out of it? I've heard they can be a little bassy and loose. They're definitely on the looser side if you're thinking about how modern the sound is. But there's the trick to that is with any kind of vintagey Marshall-y type of amp, if you put certain overdrive pedals in front of it, it does tighten it up. But it will also change the tone of, the EQ curve and the tonality. But, the quick and fast trick is just tightening it up with an overdrive pedal. I like the Boss SD1 is a good one. Or even a Tube Screamer is a good one. But that's kind of the trick, to just kind of tighten up a loose Marshall, in my opinion. Okay, guys and gals, I got 5 more minutes, and then I gotta eat dinner, or make dinner, or order dinner. I don't know. What are we gonna eat? Hobo Roadie, I put my phone up on a standing table. Only play guitar standing up. Sitting will cripple. Yeah, that's wise. Oh, here, I'll just be out of the shot. Hold on, maybe I can back up. No. That's fine. But you're probably right. I should probably maybe that'll be my new thing, standing up. Chris Quinn, the twin sister versus the small box. They were trying to remember the small box. I feel like the twin sister had a little bit more edge to it as far as like it could do more of a JCM 800 thing if you said it right. Um, the small box, I believe, was a little more vintage feeling to me. Um, but I did like the cleanish sound on the small box a little bit better than the twin sister, if I remember correctly. Chris Quinn, the black pickup cover is killing me. Yeah, it's funny. Fralin sent it that way, and I was just like, I'm like, I'll just put it in because I want to get it going in the sound, and I don't mind it. It's a little bit different. I would like to get like a crazy colored one, maybe like, or something with a design, just to break up all the colors or something. Maybe like a purple something or other. David Salos, so music or podcasts on the track to the new pad? Any recommendations? So are you asking what I listened to on the way here on the big drive out? Where is that? What did I listen to? Podcasts. I listen to Smartlist. I'm not a big podcast person, but I'll listen to, Smartlist. I'll listen to news stuff. CityCast Portland, which is basically like local news and, learning more about the city that I was going to. I'm trying to remember what else. Giant. I listened to Giant. I listened to Dan Huff. I listened to Richard Marx, the usual suspects. I listened to the new transatlantic radio mastered files just to listen to the mixes, which should be coming out soon. I don't have a hard and fast date yet, but we're working on it. It's pretty much finished. It's just the label is planning out the schedule of all their releases because they basically release something every day, it seems like. So we're in the queue, and we've got at least 2 new music videos to share with you too. Maybe 3 or 4 now that I think about it. Yeah, I forgot how much footage we shot. Let's see here. Guitar Breakdown. Good to see you. Hey, Ron, been watching you for a while. Can you give a quick thought of how you do live YouTube, OBS, cam software? Do you ever have guests in your live? So it's been a while since I was hardcore live streaming, and you guys know the people that have been with me in the channel for a while. I used to, every Saturday morning, we would have a live stream, and I got really into it, especially like right after COVID. That was like my bread and butter. But yes, I've had guests on. My setup normally, this is not my typical setup as far as like the camera, the audio, the lighting, and everything. But the streaming software I use is Ecamm Live, and I pay for the professional version just for the features. The camera I'm using is a Sony A60 something 100. Let's see here. And it's just, I plug it in through, can you see this? One of these, this is an old style USB capture, HDMI to USB thing. There's probably better ones out there, but this is what I've been using, and it hasn't had any issues. I've been literally using this probably since like 2020. And as far as having guests, there's ways to do it through Ecamm. There's obviously ways to do it through like StreamYard, and some other software. But yeah, you kind of just have to play around with all the different software that you're using with the guests, because audio compatibility can sometimes be an issue, or echo cancellation and all that stuff. Ted Nagurski, what do I think of the new Gibson Les Paul Custom 70s line? I'll tell you what, I've been so out of the loop with everything, national news, world news, and definitely guitar news. So I have no idea what you're talking about. But now I'm going to research. Yeah, I don't know what just came out as far as the gear. What's the new stuff? I saw there was a virtual digital amp that was like on a stand that had a screen and like a speaker. I think I saw Sophie Burrell demoing it or doing an ad for it, and I was like, what's that? So if someone here can tell me what the heck that was or that is. What else? Albert Bouchard, good to see you. When I was packing up the Nashville studio, I was all the albums you gave me. I'm like, I got to put these in a special box and everything. So they made it here. And if you're just joining, like Noise Bloom, the word on the street is I left Nashville, and my wife and I and our 2 puppies live in Portland, Oregon now. So that's the big life update and the big changes that are happening. And that's one of the reasons why I was gone for so long, was the planning and moving and everything of relocating across the country. LPD pedals, how are the pups liking the new place? They love it. It's they like it when it's dry. Obviously, when it's kind of drizzly and rainy, they don't like it so much. But a lot of new smells and a lot of places to walk, and it's exciting, I think, for them. Scott Brockaway, yeah, crime is awful here. Don't come here ever. It's too much chaos and anarchy. Albert Bouchard, I'm working on Imagino's 4 record. Yes. When I'm set up, hopefully in the next couple weeks, fingers crossed, I'll be ready. But we'll see. Chris Quinn, David Sisu, it's a 67. I actually bought it at Thunder Road in Portland. It's a good store. They, what did I play there? When I was there a couple months ago, I played the Julian Lage signature Collings, and that's a great guitar. I know Collings is pricey, but they make really good guitars. All right, guys, 6:04. I gotta go. I gotta make dinner, but I really appreciate you guys hanging with me, and sorry I was gone for 4 months. I had to count, but I'm on my way back to my regular scheduled programming. More videos are coming out. I've got so many gear demos that I have a list that, companies are waiting for me to get my new studio set up, and it's going to be awesome. New pedals coming out, some guitar stuff that you've never seen before. I just want to make it look good and make sure my studio is close to being how I want it, as far as visuals and everything. Because I didn't, I could probably just demo something here and everyone would be cool about it. But I want to do this right. I want to get my branding and my colors and my new stuff happening, my new look, just right. So thank you for bearing with me, especially all the companies. But I'm here and I'm ready to work and get back to being a YouTuber guitar. What do I say? Stringfluencer. But that's it. I don't have any special. I don't have my Joe Coy out. I don't have my JHS CBD gummy thing that I normally do. So I'm just gonna have to shut it off. But I appreciate it. And if you want to get in touch with me on a normal basis, I'm on Instagram. Find me there. I'm usually posting something. But I appreciate y'all, and I'll hopefully see you very, very soon, okay? Have a good evening, and don't forget about me. All right, bye.